This is one of 3 protests going on right now in Pasco County. Pinellas and Polk also involved. Hillsborough County will have their chance next week. The issues may be complicated, but the message is simple. 3 words: save our schools.
Well, it's still a pretty active scene out here where police say this shooting happened, where it all started. You can take a look and see that there are several police cars that are still here holding the scene, as well as tape wrapped around that house.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Charlotte Sports Park, spring training home of the Tampa Bay Rays. All right, day 1 is now in the books. Pitchers and catchers only today. Manny Ramirez did post for about 5 minutes, and then he bolted out of here pretty quick.
This all started right here at the Seminole Heights home behind me. This is where police found the victim of a murder.
The suspect in this case isn't going anyplace anytime soon. He's currently serving about 10 months in the county jail.
She's really easy to use. She's got a camera in her chest with a record button and a screen in the back. But what if you set her down and then forget you were recording? The video ends up online for everyone to see.
But police say when that mom left her car outside at the gas pump, she also left the keys in the ignition, and her 6-year-old buckled into a car seat in the back.
This morning, they found Schoenecker covered in blood and her 2 children shot to death. Julie Schoenecker went off to jail appearing to be a very disturbed woman. She admitted to police that she planned to kill her 2 children and then take her own life.
She described the crimes in details to our detectives.
Police say Schoenecker was driving her 13-year-old son, Bo, to soccer practice yesterday. She told them he was talking back to her, so he pulled out her revolver and shot him in the head. According to investigators, she then drove back home, left her dead son in the minivan, went upstairs and shot her other child, 16-year-old Calix, as she sat in her bedroom doing homework.
One was shot from behind, one was shot from the side. We don't believe that the children knew that their mother meant to harm them.
It took a little extra time to get word to Schoenecker's husband. He's an Army colonel who was on a trip to the Middle East. And kids who knew the victims are at a loss for how this could happen.
Yes, it's a shock, and I am very sad about the children, and I am also very sad about the mother.
Seema Jaron shared carpool duties with Schoenecker and drove Calix just last week.
I wish I prayed for the family. Mom was very nice, very sweet. Everybody in the family was very soft-spoken, very quiet.
Police say obviously Schoenecker had this planned out. She bought the gun last weekend and went through with her plan to kill her 2 children.
Most suspects who walk out of Tampa police in handcuffs keep their heads down, but not Julie Schoenecker.
You see how rigid her neck is. It's very stiff.
Retired FBI profiler Joe Navarro is a body language expert who's written 10 books on how our bodies convey what our minds are thinking.
She doesn't interlace her fingers, but rather she holds her fingertips together. That's also suggesting to me that there's something wrong here.
He says it appears the mom accused of murdering her 2 children, 13-year-old Bo and 16-year-old Calix, is suffering from a neurological condition. Whether or not it's biological, he can't be sure.
To control all these different muscles, about 11 different muscles on the face, to contort it in the way that we're seeing. None of this excuses anything that may have taken place because you know, she's been charged. It hasn't been proven.
And Dr. Walter Afield had a similar response that there may be some sort of physical condition there. The psychiatrist who's testified in many high-profile cases also says it's strange the mom of 2 teens is accused of resorting to such violence.
It's very rare. I don't think I've seen one in the 50 years I've practiced. It's very rare to see somebody killing teenagers like this.
And though it may be rare, Navarro tells me there are usually signs. In Schoenecker's case, she had been in family crisis counseling with both children after her daughter reported she hit her back in November. And just before the alleged shootings, the 50-year-old's mother called police from Texas, telling them she was concerned.
There's usually all sorts of indicators beforehand, such as missing work, not taking care of children, becoming abusive with children.
It seems spring and optimism go hand in hand, doesn't it? These players won a 3rd AL East title. This man expects his team to be very competitive and enjoys the challenge of taking on the division's big spenders.
The tougher the road, in a sense, it makes it more rewarding. winning the American League East 2 out of 3 years, we still pinch ourselves a little bit that it happened.
Sternberg said that he lowered payroll this year because, in his words, the team lost a ton of money. But he does hope that future revenue is on the horizon, such as revenue sharing, perhaps a salary cap, or even an extra playoff spot. And then, of course, there's that new stadium. You say that it correlates to the payroll going up? If you get a new stadium, automatically you reassess how you spend the money?
Well, it wouldn't be. We would just have more at our disposal. We'd have more resources. So it should turn out better, I would guess. Yeah.
Is there anything new on the stadium situation? And if not, what does that tell you?
Nothing that I know of. So it tells me that there's nothing new.
I mean, is that concerning?
Okay, as for Sternberg's rumor concerning the fact that he may be interested in buying the Mets and or the Dodgers, the answers to that, no and no.
The fine folks at Fury Key West agreed to let us come along as they took tourists out on the water aboard their glass-bottom boat. 6.2 miles due south of Key West, you could go inside the boat, look down, and see the eastern dry rocks coral reef.
And these coral polyps, you really can't see them.
One of the ship's mates, Lou Ghazala, served as our tour guide to the largest coral reef in the country and the third largest barrier reef in the entire world.
Does anybody know what the largest is?
That'd be the Great Barrier Reef in Australia, but this one's no slouch either.
The enormity of the reef, that's huge.
It's made up of very brittle, hard and soft coral. Here it's about 8 to 20 feet deep, and it serves as a perfect habitat for tons of marine life.
Everything. Fish, sharks, the whole 9 yards, sea turtles.
What stood out, though, was something Lou said to us over and over and over again.
How important it is. I don't think people really understand how important this reef system is. What I really want them to understand is how important this environment is to the world.
Why so important? Well, Gonzalez says the reef cleanses the ocean. It holds in carbon dioxide and keeps the oxygen level around here at a good spot. Plus, it puts seafood on the table. And for all those reasons and more, as the reef sits very near the projected path of the oil from the spill, it's got Ghazala and his shipmates concerned it may be in danger.
Yeah, we're worried about it right now. Hopefully we don't have to deal with it.
Now, the reef has actually been recovering for the last 5 years because of damage it received during the bad hurricanes of 2004 and 2005.